was once a dream that was Rome.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back. My name is Ronald. This is the best channel that nobody watches except a few special people like yourselves. And today we have a new episode in the Backlog Explorers Podcast, where you are joined by Potato Head, aka me, and
Do you think
Chotiris. Oh my god, sorry about that. And Chotiris, who is a modder for Total War, Rome 2, the 1100 AD team, and he is also my partner in crime in this podcast, where we
Hello,
explore.
everybody.
Hello, yeah, there you go. Where we explore older games and see if they're still worth your time and money. Because I think Shotiris agrees here as well. It's more important than ever to look back on maybe older games where it was simpler times. The games are still high quality, but they're not filled with microtransaction or with side quests that are so repetitive that you want to tear your hair out, and it's repetitive just to increase the hours played, and all sorts of scammy let's say tactics that developers take nowadays. So it's a pretty interesting subject, a lot of good games, so why not dive into it. And also we're gonna start from this next month, we're gonna start covering new games as well, but more about that in the future. So hello, Shotiris. What did you think about did you enjoy playing Dawn of War?
So for me, it's the first time that I dive into this Warhammer lore or whatever. At the beginning, I didn't know what to think about it, but I've had some experience in this kind of gameplay due to Command and Conquer: The Iberian Wars. So gameplay-wise, I was hooked up in the beginning, but after playing the main campaign and seeing the lore, blah blah blah, I got hooked up, I got hyped, and I have like 100 hours in this game in a couple of weeks.
It's hard not to get hooked up with the Warhammer universe and the lore. It's pretty filled with testosterone. Up until recently anyway, because Games Workshop decided to start putting some rainbows in it. But whatever.
Very good, very good.
Not the rainbows, the lore, the old lore.
Yeah, yes. Not the lore. The lore.
Yes, exactly.
Actually, I am impressed because it's a 2004 game whenever it got released, and it's holding up so nicely. And the definitive edition, even when it was released, it was so and so, but now it's getting even better. So yeah, we'll dive into it.
Yeah, it's still getting updates. Just like a couple of weeks ago, they updated some stats for some of the factions or something. So yeah, although the definitive edition is a botched edition, it's like a nothing burger. It's basically almost the same game as the previous version. You can't even rebind keys, which is just fuck off.
Yeah, what the fuck?
Yeah, and also like in the beginning you couldn't even use Wasad to move around the map. Like the weapons that you usually use for FPS games and strategy games as well, some of the modern ones, you have to, but after that they updated because people were complaining about it, and now you can, but you have to press shift and then you can press the Wasad buttons and then you will move around the map from the keyboard, not needing to do so from the arrows, which is quite annoying because you cannot then do the shortcuts if you want to build something or recruit something. So it's yeah, by the way, edition was shit, but just sorry, I'll let you finish. Just let me finish my thought. But just as it is with Warcraft 3, where the Reforged edition was a pile of shit, the base game is so good that it doesn't really matter. So if you're a new gamer, you don't like, this is a complete side point and it doesn't matter to you. So go ahead, you were saying.
Yeah, by the way, I didn't even know about the WASD shortcut with the shift. After like 80 hours, you told me. I didn't know.
That's fine. It's like you learn to manage after a while because you can control up your units and then you just use the control 1, 2, or 3 to move around the map, or at least that's how I do it. I knew about it, but I didn't actually use it because I got used to like work around it. So after a while, I just deleted it out of my brain. Yeah, let's talk about like I played. I confess, for this episode particularly, I didn't refresh my memory with the main campaign, because if you check my channel, When the definitive edition came out, I played the main campaign and the Winter Assault campaign, so it's all there if you want to go back and watch it. I played on a hard difficulty. It was a blast. I always enjoy playing this. So we're gonna start with the main campaign. Then we'll talk about a little bit about the DLCs as well, because some of the DLCs are very good, but there's some hit and miss there. There's 3 DLCs for the game, but we'll get into it. So, main campaign. Tell me, how did you enjoy your main campaign in Dawn of War?
So, look, I didn't know what to expect. All in all, I'm very impressed, because it's not that you're only like playing the game. It also gives you the characters are interacting to one another. They're speaking. There are many cutscenes that they are discussing what's happening. So you are following the characters in the lore. It's not that you're only playing and etc. And the lore follows Gabriel, who is the force commander, and his pal, the librarian. They're trying to fight off a huge orc invasion, and the orcs are being manipulated by the forces of chaos, if you remember, who are trying to reclaim a relic who has been hidden there. And then you have the Eldar, who are trying secretly to fight off the forces of chaos so as to not be able to get that relic. And they need the relic.
But the Space Marines disagree.
Yeah, of course. I think that you don't even know about it after like Endgame, that the Elders are there either way. And after a while, the librarian, who is a part of psychic, he's being manipulated by the forces of chaos and eventually becomes a traitor. And
it becomes a rainbow lover, right?
Indeed. And then you have also the Inquisitor, who arrives at around 30% of the campaign, and at the beginning he's such a dick because he suspects that you, Gabriel, is the one who is about to become a traitor due to his past, that he purged Saria, his home planet. And that's not the case actually. And then once the librarian becomes a traitor and you kill him, whatever, you co-op with the Inquisitor, so there is a bond. It's also very nice there. The final boss, it's also very nice with the demons you're fighting. It's very nicely. It's slow paced. The maps are very good. The progression of the maps are also large, and linear, but okay. And the atmosphere is also very, very, very nice in each level, with the jungle at the beginning with the orcs. Then they're trying to counterattack in your city, who once was the jewel of the area, but now it's in crumbles, it's falling apart. And then you are counterattacking inside the gates of chaos and etc. It's very, very nicely done. Very nicely done.
Okay, so I get it. I take it you overall enjoyed it, right?
Yeah, it was more like a story. It's not like, the typical RTS campaign that you're playing the 5, 7, 8 maps. You are mauling the area and you are done with it. There is a lore.
Yeah, the story is actually decent. It's not just a tool that the developers used in order to just play the tutorials in order for you to be prepared for multiplayer, right? The story is actually pretty good, with a decent depth. And I like the characters a lot. You mentioned the 3 main characters. I like them a lot. I think the voice acting was very good. It was very immersive. It didn't come off as fake. I liked to see what the hierarchy between them, the interaction between them, and how they everybody knew where their place was. There was not a lot of there was some rebellious lines and actions taken, but they knew the hierarchy and they respected it, which was quite interesting to see. It gives you a small glimpse into the vast lore of 40K, which is vast and it's kind of confusing. I tried to get into it. I'm gonna get into it a little bit more because I actually decided after I played this game and got excited for Dawn of War 4. I ordered the first 2 books from the Horus's Heresy. Yeah, there you go. So it shows you a small glimpse into the lore. It's a nice entry actually for people that have no idea what's going on. The campaign overall, I enjoyed the main campaign. I thought it was good. It had it had a variety of missions, so to say. What else? I like the soundtrack is pretty good, and there is a legendary soundtrack actually from this game called Chant. I used it, like in the past year, I used it a lot in some of my Total War walkthroughs where like there might have been copyright issues. So the soundtrack as well is pretty good. And if I remember correctly, when you play skirmish matches, each faction has a particular soundtrack. So it's not the same soundtrack for everybody, which is a very nice touch. I think like the gameplay, I didn't research this, so sorry about that in case I'm talking out of my ass. But the gameplay is pretty revolutionary in the sense of how you recruit your troops, and it's because usually like in strategy games you like recruit units, right? One individual. But here you recruit squads that then you can further personalize by adding numbers to them, adding a commander to them, or diversifying their weaponry. Whichever type of weaponry you choose to go, or depending on what you need, of course. And this was pretty revolutionary for the time, I remember, because I played it like, I think I've played it first time. The game came out in 2004. The first time I played it in 2005, I believe. And it was very unique, and I remember it caught my attention immediately. The gameplay on the map is also a little bit different. It's similar to like something like Company of Heroes, where you don't have to like gather resources. You actually go out and take points on the map, which I enjoy because it adds more strategy.
Be aggressive.
It forces you to be aggressive, yes. It forces you to adapt to certain situations that can be very challenging. So overall, it's a more aggressive, I would say a more challenging type of gameplay compared to something that, like, for example, StarCraft or Age of Empires or even Warcraft. Because in Warcraft, all your resources are there in your base. You don't have to go out and, I mean, you have to expand, of course, but you don't have to start by doing that from the get-go like you have here.
Exactly.
So it's very different. I'm not saying it's better. It's you cannot really compare classic RTS, for example, like I mentioned, I don't know, StarCraft 1 to this, because it's very, very different. But this is also a beautiful branch, and I enjoyed the gameplay a lot. Now, some of the one thing that I didn't like actually, and it's not a big deal, but when I was younger, I remember I would play Warcraft 3 and StarCraft. In the beginning, mostly I would play those missions just to see cutscenes, because cutscenes were so unique and cool to watch at this time. Now, the problem with this game, this campaign, let's say, there's no cutscenes in between the missions. You have one cutscene in the beginning, and that's the same with I think it's the same with the DLCs. So
yeah, cutscene. You mean a cinematic cutscene?
Yeah, exactly. Cinematic cutscene. Yeah, yes, thank you.
Because in the main campaign there are cutscenes that
you have cutscenes of dialogues
speaking exactly where they're located. Yeah, that's all.
Yes, I'm referring to cinematic cutscenes exactly. So that was a little bit disappointing, but that's a minor issue. And it's like the game overall, the whole package is just so good. I enjoyed playing it a lot, especially like now the second time when I came back to it for this episode. We played a lot of multiplayer matches with Chotiris and with another friend, yeah. And that was a blast. It was a fun. I was so happy that I actually I was happy that I had friends to play this game with. it was so nice to play the game, this older game, right, with buddies, and to just figure it out and get better at it and make strategies, and okay, you go here, I go there. It was a blast. It's a lot of fun, and I would easily recommend it to other people as well. But that's just
to be honest, I wasn't expecting actually that the learning curve would be not that steep, because when I actually started playing the game for the first time, I was a bit lost, you know. And
Yeah.
yeah, because the first thing we did, the first time we played it was skirmish. I didn't even play the campaign at first. So
Yeah. It can be a lot.
yeah, I logged in and I didn't know what the fuck I was doing. I'm sorry. But I think after a couple hours from easy, we jumped into hard. So I really like the aspect and the idea that, of course, each faction is entirely different from one another.
Oh yeah.
Except that the
There are
chaos,
exceptions: Chaos, Space Marines, even
and
the
the
Sisters of
sisters,
Battle.
yeah,
Yeah,
they have some similarities because it's more or less the same thing actually. If you think
yeah.
about it,
There's a
they're
lot of
using the
overlap.
same, yeah, yeah. Um, I don't know how to say it, bro. It's revolutionary. I haven't played such an in-depth game that you can
I gotta ask
adapt
you though. Yeah,
strategies against a specific faction, because when you're
yeah,
playing as Necrons, you have to adapt if you're playing against Star
yeah. You
Wars, you're
don't play
playing
the
against
same.
Imperial
Yeah.
Guard. Exactly.
Yes. I have to ask you though. Like, did you find this harder than Warcraft 3 to get into and to figure it out, or easier?
Oh, this one was easier to be honest. The Warcraft
Yeah.
3, I still don't know how to play.
Yeah.
Because I will tell you, I
No, I
was
agree,
playing
by
as
the way. But go ahead.
yeah, I was playing as the human faction. I don't remember the name now in
Yeah, the
Warcraft
Space
3.
Marines. Oh, yeah.
Oh no,
Yeah.
in
The
Warcraft
humans.
3.
Yeah.
Yeah, humans. Okay. I was farming troops there, if I remember, but I was dying so easily. I don't know. The AI
Yeah.
was much harder. And and
I
and this and this game, at least you have different kinds of layers. You can build up turrets. You can do the same thing in the other game, but if you remember, we were having like 15 turrets, and they were all destroyed in a couple of seconds. At least here, it's a bit more punishing if you rush, for example, or something. And
Yeah.
especially because I played as the Imperial Guard. The Imperial Guards have different kinds of defensive mechanisms. They have the Basilisk, the artillery. They have the heavy infantry that goes entrenched, and you can use it against vehicles or against other infantry. So you can like place a multi-layered defense so as to be able to counterattack if the enemy attacks you. This is what I really like with the Imperial Guard, and that's why it was my most played faction actually.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, their infantry is a bit of spongy. They're dying very quickly.
Oh
But
yeah, they.
yeah,
I think that's why I didn't
the,
like to play with them or something. They're so use. I mean, not useless, but yeah, they're fragile.
bro, the thing is that if you manage to recruit the priests, the psychers, and the commissars, and you put them as commanders in each squad, and you have them all together in the same area, their auras overlapping, and they are very strong,
Yeah,
very strong. But this
yeah,
needs time, and you don't have time in this game because, as we said, it's like World War One. You're rushing, and you have to rush because otherwise you won't have any money. And you're
yeah,
fighting for 1 inch back and forth. This is what
yeah,
happens.
yeah. You're fighting from the get-go, and yeah, you noted something that's very important. The gameplay is very different depending on which faction you play. I really enjoy that. I really appreciate that because, like, okay, like we said, Space Marines, Chaos, and the Sisters of Battle, they have a lot of overlap on how do you play them. And to be fair, I didn't play the Eldars, although I tried it. They're not my jam. It's something. But for example, the Necrons, they play basically a different game than the other factions. For example, there's enough diversity here for the factions that can give you more hours of gameplay if you choose to play as another faction in the DLCs, of course, or in the skirmish. Like there's a lot of possibilities here. It's very hard also to create such a system in which factions play differently, or a lot differently, or completely differently in some cases, but still be able to balance things to make it so that you don't like the multiplayer or skirmish aspect is not destroyed by one faction or the other. So that's also a absolutely amazing achievement, I think, from the developers. I think it was Relic Software that made this back in 2004. The same guys that make, for example, Company of Heroes. So maybe there's the similarities with the taking control of the map, and other games as well. So that is one aspect of the game that I respect a lot, I enjoy a lot, and it's worthy of praise in my opinion, because you don't see that too much in other games. Because like even in Warcraft 3, like you have the same basic understanding of the same faction, you get the same resources, you use them for the same things. But here, like I told you, like the Necrons, for example, they don't need the stationary points or whatever they're called. They use those resources in order to build stuff faster, not to build the units themselves, because some of the units are for free. And it's pretty cool, man. It's really nice. I enjoyed that a lot. But I think, like, coming back to the main campaign, overall it was a good campaign. I wouldn't call it like fantastic. I wouldn't call it like Warcraft 3 level, not by any chance. But it was above average, and it was good enough to not look, like I said previously, to not feel like it's something that is just a tool in order for you to learn the game, to learn to play the game. So I was pretty satisfied with the main campaign.
I hate when they do that. Although this game also had, a build-up mechanism that you are starting only with infantry, then you are getting access to some anti-tank.
Yeah, the progression was pretty nice. You got it slowly.
So it is a tutorial, but it's not that you are playing as SWAS to learn the game.
Yeah, well, I mean, theoretically, every campaign of an RDS game is a tutorial, but ideally, you put a nice story to it, and then it feels like you're actually doing something for a reason.
By the way, now that you mentioned the Eldars, I tried to play as the Eldars, and I watched some, some videos on YouTube on how to learn them. They are very micro-intensive because you can. There is a skill that they use so as to move faster and be able to envelop and flank.
Yes.
Areas and etc. But while they're doing that, they do 50% less damage. And the thing is that, I don't know if you've noticed, but when you are group selecting the same type of troops, if you click a skill on a particular unit, it will only matter to that unit, and it won't matter for the entire group. This is also something that I didn't like, especially with the others, and that's why I stopped using them. Because at least with the Imperial Guard or the Space Marines, you can simply press right click, they are auto-reinforcing, renewing their guns and etc. So you don't have to micro them as much. But with other factions, it's a shame, at least when you are selecting the same type of troop, that there is no way to use the same skill for everybody, as we do in Rome 2, for example, shield wall for all the same type of troops,
Yeah.
So this is a shame. Yeah, it's. I don't know. It's too much micromanagement. Maybe a skill issue.
No. I mean, it's a fair criticism. I don't think it's necessarily fair. I don't think it's necessarily a skill issue, because you played it on Insane on campaign, right? So you wanted a challenge, but maybe you just dislike this aspect of the gameplay, which is perfectly fine. I understand. I understand your petty grievance there. I honestly, like, when we decided to give this game a go, I was like, okay, I'm gonna be very analytical, I'm gonna sit down, I'm gonna play as every faction, at least a few skirmish games, etc. I started playing out with the Space Marines, of course. I even tried the Sisters of Battle a little bit, because I found their units and architecture of the buildings look very nice. They remind me of the Eastern Roman Empire. And they look really cool, but gameplay-wise, it took a while for me to get into it, and I decided I like the Necrons too much. So because I was just brain melted by the Necrons, I played all my campaigns and everything with my skirmish games with the Necrons, which I enjoyed a lot. They are like fucking T-800s just going forward, and it's I like their way of gameplay of playing. They're slow, they are vulnerable. Like, a good player will always exploit their difficulties. Yeah, but then you can, if you're a really good Necron player, you can counter that with teleportation, because you have the ability to teleport a lot of your units. So it's something for something, but this is just another one of those points where, yeah, you can counter one faction, but then if a good player will still be able to punish you, even if you know the weak spot of that faction itself. Yeah, it was a lot. It was very nice. I really like the Necrons. Looking forward to Dawn of War 4. Let's see how that gun goes. But let's not jump into it too much. Let's talk a little bit about the Winter Assault. Now, I'm gonna be honest with you. I hate this campaign. I remember I didn't play it. I no way I was gonna play it again. I played it when the definitive edition. I played it when the definitive edition came out last year. So why? Well, first off, I really don't enjoy playing as the Imperial Guard. For some reason, I don't know. I just don't enjoy playing with them. But because that was the main like either the Imperial Guard or like orcs, right? I think you start if you play as the Disorder, you start with the orcs, right? And then you play as the Chaos or something like that. Yeah, so those are two factions that I just really don't like to play. Chaos are okay, but Eldar, Orcs, Imperial Guard, I just didn't enjoy playing them. But I think more importantly, I noticed, from memory of course, 10 months ago, but I noticed like the way the map layout was for the missions, it was very, very restrictive. It always pushed you into one side or another, and it gave you very little freedom. And that's something that pissed me off. I didn't enjoy that aspect. I didn't like that. And like those are two major factors, right? The map layout and the faction that you play as, and it just made it feel like a real grind. I couldn't finish it. Like I played the Disorder campaign, I remember, and I didn't finish the Order campaign because I just didn't want to go through it all over again. And also on the final mission, I remember I had to like literally go on YouTube and see what I actually have to do because the game wasn't very clear about it. Or maybe I'm just, I don't know, maybe I'm challenged or something. That's possible, but overall I had a bad experience. But I feel that you might have a different opinion, so give it to me, baby.
Yeah, listen, I like the campaign because of course I like the Imperial Guard. I can understand the fact that we're saying that the maps were very restricted because the first map, it's literally, actually no, the second, I think it's the trenches. It's like World War I. The first one is that you're trying to attack the keep. So, okay, you're breaking through the gates, that's fine. The second map was the trenches. Yeah, this is the restriction that I understand what you're saying. Because you also have to go through minefields, they are shooting you, they're waiting for you, blah, blah, blah. Okay.
Yeah.
And this is what I also really liked about the Imperial Guard, because they can access their buildings and they can teleport through underground tunnels on the other side of the map, for example. So this is a very nice feature that they have. I also forgot to mention. And this is when they introduce the basilisks, 7 chads on the other side of the map, artillerying through the enemy shed there, destroying everything. Very nice there.
Yeah, those units are nice. I have to admit, those are nice.
Yeah, because it's when you're trying to save the Titan crew. The only thing that I literally didn't like at all in this campaign, and it's the only thing, it's the map before the end, that you're making the last stand at the Titan and you are reviving it, and you are destroying the obelisks of the pyramids, actually, of Necrons. It's when you're trying to escort the Titan crew, the large tank, whatever they have, through the map. There are endless waves of enemies rushing from all over. You are starting with 4,000 requisition, I think, but the base that you are getting, it's on the other side, on the left side of the map, and you're not making any money. And even if I had 90 requisition gain, it wasn't the same as skirmish. The requisition was going up very slowly, so it's scripted. You have only 4,000, make it count. Okay.
Yeah.
That's fine, because you have plenty of troops. You can also create plenty of troops so you can guard them. The only thing is that you can command with your command guard, whatever, with the commander guard. You can command the Titan crew to follow you around the map. This is fucking glitched. They never listen. You are spamming to go to follow you, and they say yes, we're coming, and they're doing 360s. And while they're doing 360s, there are 50,000 troops shooting them, and you lose. You lose, you lose, you lose, you lose. Okay. I always played on insane, but this one I played it on normal, so I can win it. There was no other way. No other way.
Yeah.
But other than that, it's okay. The last mission is rather enjoyable. It's fine.
Okay, well, we can agree to disagree on that one, or like you enjoyed it, sure. That's fair. I think like
It was very glitchy. The problem is that it was very glitchy, and I cannot understand why there were so many enemies. I mean, hello, how am I supposed to win them? I mean, there is nothing else I can do.
Yeah, but also like I want to give credit to this campaign because like you play as new factions, right? So you have the option of playing as 4 new factions in this campaign, which is pretty cool. If you want some diversity to your game, so I think that's worth a mention. That's probably why maybe a lot of people liked it, like yourself, because you like to play as one faction or the other. So that's pretty nice. And if you don't have any, like, I'll leave it to you if you have any last words about the Dark Winter campaign. No, wait, Winter Assault campaign. I'll leave it to you. I think I said what I wanted to say.
Yeah, by the way, they introduced the Elders, and this is when I started to dig a bit deep into their faction. But as I said, it's so much micromanagement on the skirmish mode, because the campaign is okay.
Yeah.
It's rather easy.
And no amount. Go ahead.
I'm sorry, what did you say?
No, I was about to say that no amount of hot redheads will change your dissatisfaction of the micromanagement for the Eldars, right?
Yeah, no. Okay, I guess if I play them for like 20, 30 hours and learn everything, well, okay, they will be playable. But that's not the point.
No.
Listen, I prefer the Imperial Guard and the Space Marines during our skirmish matches because since I'm playing a game, I want to play and enjoy it and not sweat. So that's why I was playing the Imperial Guard, and I guess that's why you were playing the Necrons. And that's why we enjoyed it that much, because the skirmish matches were a blast. But yeah, about the Winter Assault, it was an okay campaign. Not as good as the main one, because it was only 5 missions. It was very short, by the way. The Winter Assault, very short.
Yeah, it is short. Of course, yeah, you have two sides of the coin where you can play as the Order and Disorder factions, but it's still, it's a short campaign. Short DLC, but that's fine. I mean, DLCs are not supposed to be like, I don't know how many hours, as long as they're good, I guess. Okay, so
and then
I guess
you have Dark Crusade.
Yeah, now we can go on the Dark Crusade, which this DLC is, I find it to be very good. Like it gives you a lot of freedom. So for people that are not familiar, the Dark Crusade, it basically a battle royale, free for all. You have a planet. There's 8 factions, right? Because you get it's 7, because you cannot play as the Sisters of Battle. Yeah, there's 7 factions that you can play as. Each faction has a few territories on that planet, and then you just play Total War style. For those of you that are familiar, you try to go and conquer different territories from different factions. And the way this works is that you attack your neighbor, which is close to you, right? And then you just play skirmish games. But they're not just standard whatever skirmish games, because on each of your territory you can actually reinforce them. So when you start the battle, you don't actually start with a few peasants and the base building, right? You can start out with extra military units. You can start out with extra buildings if you reinforce, if you use your resources that you have, the requisition points, I think they're called, that you gain every turn. And then you also gain if you conquer other settlements.
Yeah, but
territories. Go ahead.
If I may add, the bases were available with the forward base upgrade, because on the map there are, I think, 4 or 5 territories that have a specific boost that they give you for the rest of the campaign if you control them.
Yes. Yes. I was about to get there. Yes, that is correct. That is also a very nice mechanism that some of the territories give you certain boosts, and also like you have in the center of the map, I think somewhere close, you have a air station, let's say, that you can conquer, and that gives you the freedom to not only attack the territory that is nearest to you, but you can basically attack any territory on the whole map, which is very nice. And obviously it's very important that you control that territory if you want to be more successful. So it's a lot of fun. Besides all of this, like when you conquer a territory and you build certain buildings on that said territory, right? If you get attacked by a different faction, all the buildings that you've built are still there, which is super cool. I don't know if that ever happened when you play an RTS campaign or DLC, but it was very nice because you can, like, as you conquer a territory, you can plan already the defenses that you will have around the map in case you get attacked on that said map when your army is somewhere else, right? So that's also a very cool, I believe, like, mechanism for the DLC. What else? There's also a very nice little RPG element to your commander, whichever faction you play as. I played as a Necron, so I had the Necron Lord, and you can add armor pieces and like general equipment on your lords so that they can become more powerful, or become more resistant to damage, so on and so forth, which is very nice. You can also give them a, like, let's say, bodyguard attachment, where wherever he spawns, yes, you have a few bodyguards around you every time, which in return gives you the ability to be very aggressive from the get-go. But sometimes it's all defense, baby, because sometimes as soon as you attack, if it's a stronger point, the enemy will ruthlessly attack you, and you just have to hold on for dear life for the first like quarter of hour, like 10-15 minutes. You just have to hang in there, and then maybe eventually you start pushing out. So that little RPG element is also very nice. What else? Oh yeah, every faction has a fort, which you can attack, but what is very cool about it is that you have, like, let's say, custom maps with more objectives. Like most of the, like, all of the territories except the forts are like standard skirmishes, right? With the mentions that I did before. But when you attack a fortress of a faction, then you have like side quests. You have of course higher resistance from the enemy, and it adds a lot of like small details that are interesting and switch things up a little bit. It doesn't make it so monotonous that you have to do the same thing all over again. That is also a very nice little piece of, let's say, dynamic gameplay. So this is a great DLC. And also, like, just to think about the fact that there's 7 factions. So you have the Eldars, Dark Eldars, Orcs, Chaos. You have the Imperial Guard. You have the Space Marines and the Necrons. And, like, you can play this DLC for, like, quite a few good hours if you want to try it with different factions, just to see how it is. It has a lot of replay value, and like it's just one of those campaigns that you can enjoy, just pop in a podcast in the background if you want, and after you have figured out your faction and how to play it, you just know what to do and you just enjoy the game, and you can have a blast. So what did you think about this DLC?
By the way, it's not the Dark Elders, it's the Tau Empire. The Dark Elders are the final one.
Okay, so, but
I think you have covered everything, to be honest. I really liked the fact that you said about when you're capturing an area, if you rush it, and I mean, you're like, okay, let's finish fast because I want to go to the stronghold. Okay, yeah, you can do that. But then the other guy is attacked from the backside, and the only thing that you have is like a couple buildings and nothing else.
Yeah.
No.
You're caught with
no
your pants off.
Yeah. And it's very difficult because if he attacks with his army, he will have also the same bodyguards as you, and you will lose. It's done. It's GG.
I might as well add like a small detail that you can reinforce regions, so you can add units on it. So regardless if your army is there or not, you can reinforce them with some extra units and workers if you get attacked. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, but the thing is that they're very expensive.
Oh yeah, especially in the beginning.
Also, the more regions you get, the more acquisition you are getting every end of turn. So you can also keep on spending to reinforcements, to bodyguards, to forward bases. That is buildings that you can build when you're attacking another territory with your army. For example, some generators, because I don't know if you've noticed this in this campaign, it's not like skirmish when you're siding with, I think, 10 or 20 energy. You have 0 energy, and you have to build as fast as possible so you can get some energy for the upgrades.
Those are very useful, the generators, to get them if you can.
I really enjoyed this campaign playing as the Imperial Guard, because I role-played as the general, with the upgrades. And I literally finished it in 2 sessions. I played both days, 2 days, until 4 a.m. It was an amazing experience. I really enjoyed it.
It's great. It's great. Go ahead.
Yes, as far as the enemies are concerned, I found that the easiest stronghold was the one of the Chaos, and the hardest one, because of the final fight, was the Eldars, because on the upper shrine they have so many Viper tanks that they wreck anything you will send. So what I had to do is to seize them with the snipers, with the assassins, who are invisible. And I was using basilisks with their special attack that they make a very strong barrage, and I grinded them down for like half an hour, slowly.
Yeah.
Now, also what I want to mention is that there is no autosave, so please be careful. You have to manually save each time before you enter a battle and during the battle.
Tell me, Shotiris, how did you find that one out?
Because if you are playing as an Imperial Guard and you attack the Necron stronghold, you are going inside the cave system, and you have to plant a bomb, and your commander unit has to survive the whole thing. And for example, I was slowly and surely advancing. I had 90% control of the map, and it was the last point that I had to plant the bomb. And they have an obelisk there, a pyramid, whatever.
Yeah.
And in the heat of battle, I had like 50 units, whatever. I didn't pay attention to the HP of my commander. And after a while, I go to my base, I click on, because I noticed that I lost a unit cap. And I was like, okay, I will build some units. And then I see Commander Squad. And I'm like, oh, why is that? And as soon as I say to myself, why is that? Mission failed. And I was like, okay, I will load. And there was no load because there was no save. And I had to repeat
Guys, sorry to interrupt. I have to say this. The balls were empty. There was no load. Go ahead.
Guys, I lost an hour and a half of very hard battle because I was playing on insane. It was insane, insane.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. And after that, I was saving after it's 5 minutes. After 5 minutes.
Yeah. So the battle was hard for 1.5 hours, but there was still no load, Shotiris. I don't know what to say about this.
Lord have mercy, dude.
Okay. One thing that there's a few criticisms though. One more small gameplay detail that I noticed and I liked very much, especially considering the age of the game, is that the dead bodies stick around for a long time. So they don't just disappear off of the map after you left the battle scene and you go fight somewhere else. If you come back, they're still there. And that was very nice.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I noticed that, and it's very cool. Also, one thing that I didn't like that much, or at least in my campaign it didn't happen, maybe because I was playing on hard. I should play it maybe harder or insane, I don't know. But did you ever notice that maybe the AI was a little bit too passive on the map and they didn't attack you that much? Because I barely got attacked, to be honest with you.
I was about to say that because at the beginning I was steamrolling. It was very easy at the beginning, even on insane. But as soon as I defeated the orcs and the town empire on south, and then I got necrons, then I had to fight the eldars and the space marines at the same time, and they were attacking me. So I had to defend a couple times, and this is when I also noticed that if you rush a territory and you don't build anything, you will lose, of course.
But it's also go ahead.
Yeah, and this gives you an incentive to take it slow, enjoy the game, enjoy the skirmish, build a couple turrets, and it's very nice. I mean, it gives you enjoyment because you know that if you get attacked, you will have everything ready.
Yeah, I mentioned, like, I'm thinking about it now because on the map, on the battle map, on the planet, right, there's walls around certain territories that prevent enemies from attacking that territory unless they go around it. So I think that because I always tried to conquer my territory, so I am very, like, I'm not vulnerable to outside attacks. So maybe that's why the AI didn't attack me that much, and then they started fighting more between each other. I don't know, maybe that's one of the situations. Another small it's not a small, but another criticism that I would like to bring to this. Like, okay, I play as the Necrons, I play I have a certain territory. Like, if somebody attacks me, they take my territories, and then they attack my stronghold. I think it would be fair once you destroy the stronghold of a faction that faction to be destroyed on the map. But this is not the case here. So even if you destroy the stronghold and the enemy still has one territory left, you have to go and manually play that battle. Although it's kind of a lost cause, because if you don't do it, like, they cannot attack you because they don't have an army, they don't have a stronghold, they don't have anything. So it's kind of silly a little bit. I think it would have been wiser to implement, like, complete conquest once you take the stronghold. But then again, maybe it could have been like easily exploited, where you just go for the strongholds and then you get all the territories from players. But it doesn't really matter because it's single player, so who gives a shit if somebody abuses a mechanism of the game? If that's how they want to play it, that's how they play it. It doesn't matter. So I found it a little bit annoying. Didn't you have this problem, like maybe you conquer a stronghold and then you still have to go to conquer one small island outside, and it's annoying?
Yes, and I had this thing with the orcs. I defeated the stronghold and there was like a small island
on the bottom of the map,
Bro, this map, they had 3, it was level 8. They had 3 bases. I'm telling you, they had 3 bases. I tried at the beginning when I played for the first time to, rush because it was the last orc.
Just go and do it. I know.
Just go and do it. I went to the left one. I was like, okay, very easy. What the fuck? Okay. And then I look on the map and I see like a red mist going through my base, destroying everything. And I'm like, what? And then I click restart. And then I was like, okay, let me first build some defenses. And then I noticed that it's 3 bases. I believe me, it was much harder than the orc stronghold this island. I had to fight. It was so hard. It was very hard. I had to cheese it because you can recruit 2 assassins as bodyguards, and if you recruit also the 3rd one, then you have 3 assassins. These guys can bring down everything. They can destroy everything very quickly. So I had these 2 as vanguard, these 3 as vanguard. I also built like 3-4 basilisks behind the main line and the very large tank, the bait blade. And this is how I want it. It's easy. Total War style. So
Dark Crusade is not without criticism, but overall it's a beautiful package. It's just I had so much fun playing it. It's also like the map aspect is pretty, like, uncharted territory for RTS games. If you think about it that way, the only game that comes to my mind that had a similar system, and of course I didn't play all the RTS games, I just have a limited knowledge of them. But I remember Rise of Nations, which is a great game, which we're gonna play one day, Shotiris. Rise of Nations had a similar campaign type where you could play, I don't know, like as Alexander the Great, and then you had a map, and then you could go and conquer territories. Very similar to this Dark Crusade DLC, actually. But it was pretty rare back then, still, to have this type of an add-on to the RTS campaign, whether it's the base game or a DLC, of course, excepting Total War games, right? Because first Total War was 2001, I think, whatever. But that's not an RTS game, right? That's a different type of strategy game. So that the map was pretty cool. Now, when it comes to the next DLC, the Soulstorm, like I was like, maybe because I played a lot of Dark Crusade and a lot of multiplayer games, but I jumped into Soulstorm and I'm like, okay, I'm excited. Let's see what's this about. And it's basically Dark Crusade reskinned, but instead of fighting for a planet and its territories, you just fight for planets. But it's basically the same thing, with the exception, of course, and maybe this would have been more revolutionary if we would have played it at launch, with the exception of the fact that you have the Sisters of Battle, right? The new faction that you can play as if you want, but it's very similar, and it just turned me off in an instant. I didn't even play it, to be honest with you. I didn't like the aesthetics. For example, the planets, like the planets, the campaign planet for the Dark Crusade DLC is pretty nice. It's pretty detailed. You have the walls that I talked about.
Yeah, it's a bit zoomed in. You can see what's happening.
Yeah, it's nice. Soulstorm, the planets are like very washed. There's no detail on them. It just felt like it felt rushed. The aesthetics. It was like, oh, okay, let's just do this, push it. It didn't feel nice. I didn't play it. I looked at it. I was like, okay, this is just Dark Crusade all over again, but it's a little bit worse. So I'm just not gonna do it. If I want to play that type of a campaign, I'm actually gonna go back to Dark Crusade and play that with a different faction instead of playing Soulstorm all over again with the Necrons. I didn't see any value in it. I don't know about you. Like, what's your opinion on Soulstorm? Did you play it?
I don't know. Exactly as you said. When I clicked to play Soulstorm, I was like, okay, oh wow, now we have the series.
You get you get a cinematic cutscene at least.
Yeah, exactly. So there are two.
Yeah,
actually three.
Actually three because you have.
Game,
Yeah.
Now, what I really don't like in Soulstorm DLC is how the planets are looking. It's literally you have 4 planets and 1 moon. Ugly, man. And you only have the anfas of the planets, which is split into 5 or 4 regions. And you can't even see your army. It's like a dot with an army.
Oh, I forgot. Oh my god, it's so bad.
And at the beginning, I didn't even know what that meant. Like, what is this? What is this? What is this circle with an arrow? Is that me? And
that's horrible.
Okay, I don't know. And the thing is that when the AI was having turns, you couldn't even tell what they were doing because there is no army. You have only a couple circles and a couple arrows. You can't see shit.
Yeah.
The only cool thing is that you can use some gateways to teleport between planets or whatever, so you can have an invasion. But it turned me off because it's exactly a copy paste thing as far as the mechanisms are go.
Yeah, and it's like, I was thinking about this right now. Like, it is a copy paste, but and it's a bad copy paste. Like, for instance, let's try to imagine a world in which you play the main campaign. You play Winter Assault, right? It's called. Then you get Soulstorm. Forget about Dark Crusade. You get Soulstorm. You play that first. You're gonna probably say, like, I'm trying to think that, like, I'm gonna probably say, well, the aesthetics are not that good, but it's very nice because you can conquer planets, you can play as different factions, so it's pretty okay, right? But because Soulstorm came after Dark Crusade, it just feels like an afterthought. In isolation, if Dark Crusade doesn't exist, I think that would have I think I would personally, of course, I would have rated Soulstorm higher. But because it's just a copy of a previous DLC that did it much better, it has no value basically for me. Except, okay, like the Sisters of Battle, if you want to play as them, which are a cool faction. I don't know if it's cool enough to justify the whole DLC and its value. What do you think?
You know what? I would enjoy it much better if you could zoom in each planet and see
certainly
kind of the same way as the Dark Crusade. Kinda, not the same thing. Okay, I understand because it's more zoomed out. But if you could zoom in so you can see what you're doing, because you cannot see. It's like it's a small ball with a couple lines you cannot see. And the funny thing is that the Sisters of Battle with which I played and the Imperial Guard are on the most north planet, whatever, and they have more or less the exact same color, so you cannot tell which region is yours. You cannot tell because the planet is yellow. You cannot tell. There is no way for you to tell what are you doing.
Like it was like. Go ahead.
As far as the Sisters of Battle are concerned, I tried to play with them. The I don't know, the little while that I played the DLC, whatever. I really liked the aesthetic, the Christian vibe or whatever, and the flamethrowers.
Yeah, the architecture is very nice.
Although as a player, I always prefer to play as men, but okay, it's a personal preference. Not that I have a problem with women factions or characters.
Actually, I wasn't very familiar with the Sisters of Battle before playing this game, but after playing this game, these ladies are badass. I really like the fact that the 40K universe has a faction like that. I would like to see them in action more and stuff. I think that the faction itself is very cool, but I just gameplay wise, it just didn't hit me. Although I liked almost everything else about them.
You know what? I try to understand. Okay, their infantry is very strong, especially. I don't remember the name. They have some infantry that they are spitting out some beams and they melt tanks. They melt. So this is their anti-tank because they do not have actual tanks to do something. They only have the flamethrower tank.
Flamethrowers,
Yeah, they have the typical carrier, which is the tier 1 trash unit, and they also have the artillery. But the good thing is that they have a mech unit, which you can get only very end game because you have to build also the shrine for the angel.
You need a lot of resources,
Yeah, this takes so much time, but this thing is very strong. It has like 13k HP. It does so much damage. It has flamethrowers. But if I have to survive my ass off with trash tanks against, for example, the tanks of the Space Marines, or even worse, the Imperial Guard tanks that they have, the artillery tanks. I mean, of course, you will use the infantry, which is very strong, but I don't know. Yeah. I'm used to playing mechanized, quote unquote, to have some tanks, some infantry with the Imperial Guard, you know. But of course, it's fact, as we said at the beginning, they have an entirely different gameplay. But I don't know. The Sisters of Battle just wasn't for me. I don't know.
Okay, but coming back to my question, do you think you would have enjoyed Soulstorm more if Dark Crusade would not exist?
Of course.
Okay.
It makes sense because it would be a different type of point of view.
Yeah.
If we didn't have, for example, the very nicely done Dark Crusade, Soulstorm, because it's kind of similar, you know. Because when I started playing Dark Crusade from the beginning, from the linear, you know, sequential
type, exactly.
It was like I was playing
a nice Switch
game. Yeah, it's a very nice Switch.
Yeah,
and so also of course I would go ahead. Of course I would rate Soulstorm better, but it is what it is. We have what we have, so I didn't really like Soulstorm, to be honest.
Yeah, and what makes me go ahead.
I'm sorry, but with just a couple small tweaks, it would have been much better. For example, what I would really like is, since it's a conquest of planets, to have more than one fucking army. Have more than one.
Yeah. Yeah, that's also a good point.
And also, for example, be able to zoom in so you can see what's happening, and like have like 2 or 3 armies, and it would be you would have more battles. Each turn would be more nicely organized or
More
disorganized.
action, more dynamic. Yeah.
Because if you have one army,
That aspect would. Sorry to interrupt, but that aspect would actually reflect very nicely the philosophy of the game on the map itself, where you have to attack from the get-go, you have to take points, etc., etc. It would be a nice mirror vision on the grand campaign map to the actual battle on the battlefield.
yeah, but imagine you have one army. If I need 10 turns to reach from one planet to the final planet, I mean, in these 10 turns, I will lose everything. What the fuck? You
Yeah,
cannot defend.
and also
It would
coming.
need,
Go ahead.
anyway, it would need like 50 hours to finish this campaign.
Yeah, and also like it's especially frustrating actually if I think about it, because they could have done just a simple transition from the planet's view, right, in Soulstorm, the campaign, let's say campaign view. Just make a transition. You just click on one of the planets, and a planet from exactly like in Dark Crusade appears, where you see it more detailed. It would have been so easy. Like, I don't know. You said how many planets are there? 4, I guess 4, and there's 2 factions on each.
There are 4 and 1 moon that the Tau Empire has a huge cannon or
whatever. So 5 round balls. Just imagine you make 5 interfaces. You just copy them from Dark Crusade, right? And you put them into Soulstorm. You give it a little bit of a detail, a little bit of a touch-up, and it would have been absolutely fantastic, I think. I mean,
exactly.
Yeah, it would have increased the value so much more, and it would have been much better, I think.
Because imagine that it will be like a scaled ×5 Dark Crusade. Okay, copy paste.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a conquest. It's a galactic conquest, So it will have a bit more impact, a bit more immersion. Because when you're playing this kind of games, you want to feel immersed. That okay, I am the leader. I'm gonna go all in. Blah blah blah. And of course, since it would be scaled up, give me more than one army. I mean, hello.
Yeah, exactly. Like your idea with my idea I think it would have increased the value so much more. But that's not what happened. We got Soulstorm, so yeah, I don't have much else to say about this DLC, especially because I didn't play it. As soon as I figured out what's it about, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna leave it here.
Small recap: we have the main campaign, Winter Assault, Dark Crusade, and Trash Storm. Okay.
Yeah. So you like 3 out of the 4, right? That's where we are at. Okay, and I like 2 out of the 4. Sorry. Now, overall, you can give me your general thoughts, like suggestions. Let me just check. I did check. 1 second. How much does this game cost right now?
But let's be honest. You're not playing this game for the campaigns. I mean, you're playing the campaigns.
Oh, yes. Yeah, that is a perfectly good point. Bless your soul. Let's talk about the multiplayer a little bit, because we did play a lot of multiplayer. Indeed. Most of the game time was in multiplayer, and we had such a blast. There's a couple of matches that are still in my memory, like one that I played with you, the 2v2 against, I don't know.
Oh, yeah.
I think it was on harder. It wasn't on insane, but it was such a back and forth, and we eventually won. It was a nice comeback, and it's a great memory. And we also played 3v3 because we had a friend that joined us.
On insane, dude. I don't know how.
On insane, and we beat them, but it was so nice. That match was the best match. I liked that one a lot. The 3v3 on insane was absolutely amazing, because if you don't know this and you're listening, there's 5 difficulties for the AI. There's easy, normal, hard, harder, and insane. The last 2 difficulties, harder and insane, that's where the AI starts to cheat, right? So on insane, even if you can own the whole map, the AI will still produce high quality units infinitely. So they're just gonna send them. But we somehow managed to overcome that, and we beat them back, and it was a blast. Multiplayer is very nice, and we only played co-op, so to say. We didn't play against each other, but if you want to play against a friend, that adds another layer because there's constant mind games from match to match. So, oh my god, that's where actually you're very right to bring it up. It's the bread and butter. But go ahead, tell me your thoughts.
Yeah, of course. Let's just be honest, because okay, it's very good that there are so good quality campaigns there, so you can also enjoy some single player action if you don't have friends or whatever.
It's a complete package, yeah.
Yeah, but you are playing for the skirmish multiplayer aspect of the game, and this is how it goes with RTS games. Uh, and this is, I believe, the first time that we played the game, it was a multiplayer, as I said at the beginning of the video.
Yes, yeah, with you, yes.
Yeah. I don't even know from where to start. This game, it was amazing. You know, I was coming back from work at midnight, and we were playing until like 2 or 3 a.m. And next day I was working again. So you can imagine that's how good it is. That's how good it is.
Yeah.
And the beginning, you know, you have the safe zone, you know, the Space Marines, because it's the first faction that you play in the main campaign, so you're more than familiar with it. But after a while, you're starting to explore new factions, new ways, new methods, new tactics, and the fact that you have a buddy to enjoy it together and trash the AI or rage quit, you know, it's very good, very nice.
It's very, very enjoyable. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah. And that's why I have 100 hours in this game in 2 weeks or 3 weeks. I don't know how much time we've been playing this game.
Yes, it's not like, coming back, it's not as deep, I think, as Warcraft 3 it is, but that doesn't take away from the joy of playing it in multiplayer. Absolutely not. It's a lot of fun. Like, if you have friends like to play it with, it's extra fun. Even if you play it by yourself, I think it's still a pretty good package. For me, it's like 2 out of 4, okay, but it's mostly, I know I might be a little bit flawed because I really don't enjoy the second campaign, and I didn't play the fourth because of the reasons that we talked about here. But it's still a pretty decent package. Multiplayer is a blast. The multiplayer is still alive, by the way. Let me check. There's at least 1,000 players if you want to play ranked or custom games. Now, beware, of course, this is an old game. There's 1,000 people playing it. Let me just check quickly the Steam numbers. So these are the heavy sweaters, guys. No, oh wow, okay. It's actually 2.4 thousand right now. So it has a constant player base between 1.2 and 2.5, I can see, depending on the hour and the day. So that's a pretty good number for a 22-year-old game. So you will find people to play it with, but they're gonna be veterans, and if you plan on playing ranked, I don't even think there's ranked. They're just 1v1s. You're gonna get your ass kicked in the beginning. But
yeah, you're gonna install.
Yeah, but it's cool that aspect of the game is still alive in case you want to jump into it. So my 2 cents, we can go to conclusions if that's okay with you. Like, although it's pretty tricky. It's like whatever. It's like 30 euros on Steam, which
30
I don't know.
euros.
Yeah. And the second game, I checked it today because I sent it to Tudor. It's the guy that we played Dawn of War 1 with. I sent him Dawn of War 2 because we're gonna do it next month probably, and maybe he will join the podcast. The second game is like 45 euros or something, which is crazy. So I just went to a third-party website and bought the key from there. I'll be honest with you, like, I'm not gonna pay 45 euros for a 17-year-old game. That's outrageous. But let's get back to Dawn of War 1. It's currently 28 euros, Shotiris. So obviously it goes on sale every now and then, like most games do. I can't remember how much the sale is. I think it's 20. Is it 20 or is it 10? Okay, I'll just cook it this way, right? For 30 euros, if you have friends to play it with, then I think, yeah, go ahead. If you don't have friends and you want to play the DLC, the campaign only, I would say wait for a sale. Absolutely, don't pay €30 for this game. Jesus Christ, it's 22 years old at this point in time. Yeah, it's the definitive edition that came out a year ago. Actually,
you
11
want
months
me
ago.
to be you want me to keep it a stack on you and be brutally honest?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, if you're planning to play the campaign, simply go on Knaben and install it for free, bro. Yeah, I mean,
No.
why would you pay? Why would you pay?
No, we don't suggest those things around here. But you can get it, like, there's third-party websites that sell the key, and you can get it for a very reasonable price. I think I paid like €7 or €8 for Dawn of War 2 on one of the websites, and it's very reasonable. Today.
Oh, you're right. Hello.
Yeah, so you can get it from third-party websites. You don't like.
Okay.
But let's talk about Steam, okay? Let's judge it that way, because then everybody can do whatever they want to do. With their money.
Okay. So for me,
but I think for €30, I don't think it's worth it, to be honest with you, and not because it's not a good game, but because we live in 2026 and we have so many options, and with €30, like, when you in the autumn sale, you can buy it like at least 3 good games, and probably more, depending on how far back you want to go. But if you play it with somebody, and money is not an issue, let's put it that way. If money is not an issue for you, and you have friends to play this game with, then yes. If money is like, okay, well, €30, I might do something else, then definitely don't do it, or get it from a third-party website. If you only play it for the campaign, then wait for a sale and get it for like under €20. I don't think it's worth €30, to be honest with you. What are your thoughts?
Look, full price, definitely not, because it's a definite edition. Look.
Yeah, but the definitive edition, yeah, okay, whatever. Yeah, it's pointless. The definitive edition is the same.
You didn't cut the rhyme with a definite. Anyway. Listen. No, €30 for me, it's very expensive.
You wanna hear something funny? Sorry to interrupt. So Dawn of War 2 is €45, but the failed child of the franchise, Dawn of War 3, is $39. So,
yeah, imagine.
Oh my god, why are they so greedy, man? €45 for that game. Whatever. Sorry, go back to your original thought.
Look, full price, definitely not. Not now, not never. Even if you have the berries to play it, you don't know if you will like it. I mean, you cannot know if you will like the game, and €30 is €30. Okay, if you have like $1 million,
keep
if
in
you have
mind
$1
that
million
you can.
in the bank, you can spend them all you like. But we are judging with other games as well. €30, it's very expensive. Now, if there will be a sale and you also have the multiplayer aspect, go for it. But if you're planning to play only single player, I mean, I don't know. I don't know if I don't know how much it costs on sale, to be honest. Because this game, you're purchasing for the multiplayer as well, not only the single player. This is a no-no. I mean, if you don't have friends, we can play together if you want. But
yeah, it's
I
tricky.
don't know.
Shotiris, we're gonna head into the Dawn of War series more and more. We're gonna play Dawn of War 4 as well, in case you guys are interested. We're gonna do a full playthrough of the campaign, and we're gonna do an episode on it. So we're gonna get hit with a lot of greed from this franchise, let's say, which I know that greed is a fact with this franchise.
By the way, guys, by the way, let's just read the review of our favorite creator here, Mr. Sword of Rome. Listen,
when the definitive edition came out, that 11 months ago,
Gladius Romai quote: "To call this version a definitive edition is a bad joke. They didn't even bother to add key rebinding. I would have not bought this version, but I decided to get it just so I can make content on it. Otherwise, it would have been a hard pass." Cap.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we enjoyed it now.
People actually like my review. Well, yes, like the base game, yes, but the definitive edition is just a cash grab. They barely added anything. Like they barely added anything, and it was very annoying. And I see people agreed with it. I guess 34 people found this review helpful. So
I am the 34th.
yeah, I know, because it was 33. I checked it this morning, guys. I saw that I actually have a review on this on the Steam page. So yeah,
Okay,
I guess that's that.
Just to recap.
Yes.
Full price, I would not recommend it. Simply wait for a sale. Okay, you have lost the summer sale. Okay, in a couple of months there will be an autumn sale. Or you can purchase from a third party, of course. That's not a bad thing to do. Everybody does it. And why wouldn't you? You are saving money.
Yes.
Now,
and we are for the consumers, so I don't care about companies making money. Not that, like, I mean, wait, let me rephrase that. I always choose to reward companies if they offer a good product, right? Which this is a good product, but it's a 22-year-old product, and also they tried to milk it a year ago. So I wouldn't be like very like good faith-ish with these guys. So yeah, absolutely, I would get it on a third-party website. Let me put it to you that way. Like maybe we could. I would recommend this game for under 20 euros. Like, it doesn't matter where you get it from, okay? I think that's a fair price for this game, don't you think? What would be your fair price for the game?
15 to 18 euros, not more than that. Not I don't. If I see the number two.
To be fair, Shotiris, I wanted to say under 15, but I was like, okay, let's say 20.
No, if I see the number 2, no. I mean, you can buy much better games. But you can buy.
Yes, you can buy better games for that
money. You know what I mean. I don't want to disrespect
exactly.
the game.
We've had this point in the previous as well. Like, it's not that we cannot afford like a 30-year-old game. 30-euro game.
But we value our money.
Yes. Exactly. It's the value that it offers in 2026 compared to the rest of the gaming industry, to the rest of the games that are out there. And also, like, money doesn't grow on trees. We are average Joes, and we like to spend our money where we actually need it, not just to throw it around, because no sane person usually has money to throw around on nothing. Or if it has, like, you have to be smart with your money. That's my point, I guess. So yeah, under 20, under 15, let's say, it would be recommended. Otherwise, I think you should wait for a sale or figure it out yourself.
Most certainly. But overall, a very nice experience. I really do enjoy it, even though now we have like Dawn of War 1 fatigue.
A little bit, yeah. I am definitely burned out. Like a week when I finished, when I was towards the end with Dark Crusade, and I started Soulstorm, I was like, ugh. But then I saw what Soulstorm is all about, and I was like, okay, bye bye, see you never.
But yeah, I mean, I appreciate the fact that I remember like 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago when we started playing, and I couldn't wait to finish my shift so we can start playing, with the Imperial Guard, blah. It was very nice. But again, that's what I'm saying. 30 euros for a couple of these memories, for a couple of these experiences, like 5, 10, 15 times, and then what? You will get bored of it and you will play something else. You know what I mean? So 30 euros, definitely not. So get it on sale and enjoy. It's a very nice game. We appreciate the lore and the campaign that sticks and blends nicely with the gameplay. And it's not only that you will have to build a couple buildings and you simply storm in and defeat the enemy or victorious. It's not like that. It has lore, and we appreciate this. So yeah, definitely worth it. Very nice game. I appreciate the 100 hours that I lost of my life playing this game. Yeah, GG. I believe
good memories.
Yeah, 8 out of 10 for me. 8 out of 10.
Oh yeah, if you want to get it, yeah. You see now, this is. I'm very, very. I don't know. Let's just say I'm hard to satisfy. Even with movies, anything that's above 7, it has to be started to be like a masterpiece. What number would I give it? I think I would give it a 7, just because Soulstorm and Winter Assault is just blah. I would give it a 7. But if I only have to rate the base game, for example, the campaign, and let's say the if let's say the DLCs don't exist, then yeah, I think I would give it an 8. But the DLCs exist, and there's a lot of value in Dark Crusade, but the other two are just dragging it down by its nuts, I think, for me. So I'd say 7, you'd say an 8. That's nice, you're generous, you're a better man than I am. I am a bitter, starting to be old man, but that's a story for another day. I guess that's it. If you have any finishing thoughts.
The Emperor protects.
Yes. Very good. So you don't have to use condoms because the Emperor protects. Guys, that's gonna be it for today. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you again next time. Until then, stay safe, stay clean, and always stay strong.